Hey everybody, welcome back. You may have seen one of my previous videos where I had a new colour analysis and I got colour analysed as a true spring, and I said in that video that I want to go through my wardrobe and I want to go through my makeup and see what I've got that is in spring colours. And today is the first of those videos. I want to go through my makeup collection behind me and see which makeup products I have that suit the spring palette. So I was analysed by House of Colour coming up to 2 years ago as a true autumn. So about 99%, I suppose, of my makeup collection is warm, but I'm assuming most of it suits autumn rather than spring. So I am curious to see what I have that might cross over into both seasons. So we're going to go through my makeup collection, we'll do an overhead, we'll go through all of the different categories and we'll see what exactly I have that is in spring colours and what isn't. And I did this when I got assigned as a true autumn, like I say, nearly 2 years ago, and it was really interesting to see what exactly I had in my season and what I don't. So let's go and do that and see what I have that is spring. I thought it would be best if we go through my makeup in how I've organised them on my makeup inventory. So I separate them into 4 main categories. So if we start off with the base products. Now, primer, I have this e.l.f. Pale Grip Primer. This isn't tinted at all, so this really doesn't depend on what your colour season is at all. So that one I will just say is yes, that's in my colour season. With foundations, these are as close as possible to my skin tone. Now, when I've gone into a store and I've been matched to a foundation, I've usually been matched to a neutral foundation. But for a true spring, for foundations, it's suggested that I go for yellow based or like golden based foundations. So I do have the Sculpted by Amy one, which is 2, and I think they describe this one as having neutral undertones. I've just checked, and yeah, they describe this one on their website as fair with a neutral undertone, and this is the one that I had on at the start of the video, and I think this is a really good match for me, so I'm going to say that yes, this one is in my season. DeVille is my shade in the NARS Sheer Glow foundation, and this is described on their website as being for light skin with golden undertones. So this one definitely is in my true spring palette, and I also think that this is a really good match for my skin tone. And then I have the Minimalist by Merit, and I've got mine in the shade Linen, which is described as being for fair, neutral skin tones. And I also think that this one is a good match for my skin tone. However, I did have a comment from one of my followers on Instagram saying that this one looked a little bit pink on me. So perhaps going for one that is described as being warm or golden in this would be better, but I think that this one matches me pretty well. And I can always warm it up with some, say, coral blusher, perhaps, and a nice spring lip. This is my corrector, Under Eye Corrector by Bobbi Brown. It's in the shade Light Bisque. This one I don't think is season dependent. I just buy this in the correct shade to help neutralise my dark circles. And I then have this concealer by Vive, which is in the shade Light 3. And this is a warm beige, so also suitable for my true spring palette. And then I've got some powders here. This is by Givenchy. This is the Prisma Libre number 2 Satin Blanc, and this has got 4 different colours in it. Again, I don't think that this one is really sort of season specific. And then I have this MAC Mineralised Skin Finish Natural powder in the shade Light. This one doesn't really look to be neither warm nor cool toned, and when I've worn it, I don't feel like it makes my skin look really ashen or grey or pink. So I think that this one is also suitable for my palette. And then I just have an all-nighter setting spray, which is not season specific at all. So I would say that all of my base products are in my season. Okay, cheek products next. So starting off with bronzer. Now, Carol Brailey doesn't really recommend bronzers for springs. She only recommends bronzers for autumns. For springs, they do darken up your complexion a little bit, and for your complexion it's all about brightness and lightness. So products like highlighters instead are more recommended than products such as contours, which I don't have any of, and bronzers. So I will finish using up these 2 and also my bronzer in my Hourglass palette, and then go for a while without bronzer and see what I think. So the bronzers that I do have, first of all, this is the shade Quince by Merit. That's how much of it I have left. And this is recommended for fair minimalist shades. So the shade that I have in my minimalist stick is for fair complexion. So this suits the shade that I have in the minimalist stick. And it is also a fairly warm bronzer, so I would say that despite Carol not recommended bronzers for springs, I'm going to put this in a yes, this suits my spring season because it is a warm bronzer. And then I have this bronzing duo by Vive. I only use this shade. Both shades are light, so light 1 and light 2, but I find light 2 to be too dark and too sort of orangey, whereas light 1 is a better shade for me, but I do find that even light 1 is too dark. So I think it will be interesting actually to go without bronzer once I finished off the bronzers that I have and see the difference that it makes to my complexion and to my makeup. But both of these are warm, so I'm going to say again that yes, these are in my spring season. Then I have 3 blushes, 2 by Vive. This one is in the shade Pesca, which Vive described as being a soft peach shade. This is perfect for springs. Peach blushes are recommended for people who are assigned spring, and this is one that I've been using pretty much every time that I wear makeup recently for the past sort of 2 months, and I really like it. It's a really lovely shade. This one is Piazza, and Vive describe it as a rose hue for a sun-kissed bronze warmth, and in the palette, in the packaging, it looks to be quite dark, and it looks like it would be good for that kind of burnt skin when you've gone on holiday and you've kind of burnt your skin a little bit, that kind of blush effect. But I wore this the other day to try it out, and actually it's a lot brighter on my skin than I thought it was. So I'm going to say as well that this one is suitable for springs. It doesn't look it, and it's not those suggested shades like a coral or a peach or a warm pink, but actually when I put it on, I do think that it worked really quite well, so I am going to say yes, that is also for springs. And then I have this Flush Balm by Merit. This is in the shade Terracotta, which they don't do anymore, but you can see that it is a nice sort of like warm orangey colour. Arguably a bit better for autumns perhaps, but this is a really nice warm shade, and it's fairly kind of bright and light. So again, I'm going to say that this one is suitable for spring. Highlighter as well by Merit. This is the Day Glow in the shade Citrine. I don't have much of this left as well. And Citrine is described as being a soft gold, so a great shade for springs. And I did say earlier in the video that highlighters are recommended for springs because they add that bit of like glow and radiance and lightness and brightness into your makeup, which is the look that you want to be going for. And then I have 2 face palettes. This one is by Vive, and I only have 1 shade left, which is a light warm pink shade. Warm pinks are good options for springs. This could arguably be a bit brighter, so this is a really good option for like a natural look, I would say, for springs. So another one that I'm going to say is yes, that's for springs. And then I have this Hourglass Leopard palette that I got last year. I've used up the highlighter. That would have been a great spring shade because it was a really bright yellow warm gold. The bronzer, again, because it's a warm bronzer, I'm going to say yes, it's for springs, but Carol Brailey would say no because bronzers are for autumns. This is a really gorgeous coral shade, so I would say yes for springs. This one arguably as well, I would say is for spring. Oh yeah, that's for springs. That's a really beautiful coral shade. This one possibly no, because I think this is more plummy. Yeah, that one's toned down a bit. I would say no for springs for that one. But this one is a finishing powder in dim light. I would possibly also say that one is for springs, but because it's a finishing powder, I don't think it matters too much. I think it's more matching it to your complexion, so whether you're fair, light, dark, etc. So overall, I would say yes, this is for springs, bar this blusher shade up here. So far so good. Pretty much all of my makeup is suitable for springs, but I think it's going to be the eyes and the lips where colour really comes into play here. Okay, this is my eye makeup. It's quite a small collection now, which I'm very pleased about. I don't really wear too much eye makeup, nor do I want to wear too much eye makeup. So let's start off with my single eyeshadows, which I have 4 of. This is the Giorgio Armani Eye Tint, which is in the shade 44? Yeah, 44 Rose Gold, and this is lovely because this is warm, it's light, it's bright, it's shimmery, it's a warm pink. It's really, really beautiful. I love that shade. That, yes, that is for springs. And then I like to go over the top of that with All That Glitters from MAC, which is pretty much a similar shade, but just in powder form, and I would also agree that that one is suitable for true springs. And these look really light and bright on my eyes, and where they've got a bit of shimmer in it, I personally think that works really well. So yes, both of those for springs. But then I have these two, which have been in my project pan since the start of this year. I've recently taken them out of the project pan. This one is Patina, which is a really interesting taupey bronze shade. Really interesting shade. And then I've got Woodwinked, which is a warm orangey brown shade. I would say that both of these are better suited to autumns. I've worn them recently on my eyes, either together or separately, and they are too dark for me. So where Woodwink doesn't really look that dark on my hand, on my eyes it does look quite dark, and it closes up my eyes a bit, darkens my eyes. You can kind of see my dark circles a bit more. So I think that both of these are better suited for autumns and not for springs. For me personally, I just need to go really light on my eyes, light like these two here. So both of these, no, not suitable for springs. And actually, I think I'm probably ready now to declutter both of these. I've taken them out of my project pan. They're not suitable for springs, and I just don't really want to wear them anymore. I think I've had my use out of them. I've had them for about 10 years, so they've been around a long time. So yeah, I think I'm ready to declutter these two. I then have this eyeshadow duo from NARS in the shade Isolde. Gorgeous couple of colours. This one is kind of similar to Woodwinked in a way, if I can put it next to it, but it's a lot brighter and it's also lighter. I haven't worn this duo recently, so I'm not going to declutter it because I don't know whether actually it's suitable for springs. This one I think arguably is, but you can't always tell until you put it on. And then the shade next to it is darker. It's more of a bronze shade. That one, oh yeah, that one's going to be too dark. A lovely shade though, I love this little duo. So I'm going to say yes for spring and no for spring, but I will try these on in the upcoming weeks and see what I think. This is just an eyeshadow base. It is tinted, but it's like a nude, and then it just depends on whatever eyeshadow you put on over the top. So I'm going to say, yeah, that one's spring. I have a eyebrow gel, a tinted brow gel. This is in the shade Blonde. This one, it doesn't scream warm, but it matches my eyebrows pretty well, and that's really the main thing with brow products. So again, I'm going to say yes for that. This one is a no though. This is a mascara from Merit. It's a lovely mascara, but it is in black, and they only do it in a black. And for springs, a warm brown is recommended. So that one is going to be a no. I am still keeping it though, but it is just a no. It's not suitable for springs. Then I have these three eyeliners from Victoria Beckham. I think I've penciled off the shade name, which is annoying. They really should kind of keep the shade name either like on the lid or towards this end. So this one I think is Copper. This one is a really warm copper shade, as the name suggests, really warm orangey brown, but that is too dark. On my lids it's like a red. It's really great at bringing out my eye colour, but it is a bit dark, so I'm going to say no for that. That is not suitable for springs. This one is, oh, what are you? Bronze. This one I wore with Patina over the top. It's a great grungy, greeny brown shade, beautiful shade, but again, not really suitable for springs because it's not light or bright enough. And then I have this brown in cinnamon, I think I want to say. Really great warm brown. This is, I'm going to say, suitable for springs though. For eyeliners, you want to be looking at warm browns as one of your options, and that one is a warm brown, so yes, that one is suitable for springs. Okay, and the last category is lip products. So this one is from House of Colour. It's in the shade Nearly Nude, and it's a liquid lipstick suitable for autumns. It's a lovely warm based brownie pink. Excellent. I have probably got about like 2 uses left of this. I'm really scraping the tube, and I've taken the stopper out, and I use this as a blusher. So this one for springs could arguably be a little bit brighter, but it works as a really nice natural blush. So I'm going to say yes for that, but even if it was a no, like I say, I've got about 2 uses left, so I will be done with that very, very soon. I've then got a couple of lip glosses. The Merit one I'm also going to be done with very, very soon. I've also taken the stopper out. I'm also scraping the tube. This one is in the shade Au Naturel, which I think they describe as like a warm cream Yes, recommended for fair to medium skin tones, and this is a really great warm orangey brown. Possibly not the best shade for springs, but I'm still going to put it in the yes shade because it is warm. It's fairly kind of like light and bright, and because I've got a couple of uses left, I don't think it matters too much whether this is 100% perfect for springs because I've got about 2-3 uses left of it. This one is suitable for springs. This is House of Colour, and this is number 66 Warm Apricot, and this is a suggested lip gloss shade for both springs and autumns. It's my favourite of the lip gloss shades that I have tried for them, and I've tried about 5. It's a lovely, like the name suggests, warm, light, bright, orangey, peachy kind of colour. Great for a really sort of like natural but light and bright lip colour. Love that one. That's suitable for springs. Then I have my lipsticks and lip liners. I have 2 lip liners here. This is by MAC. This is a warm based, orange based red in the shade Chicory. For reds, for true springs, you want to be going for warm orange based shades. So I will say that yes, that is suitable for springs. But this one, no. This is a Rust by House of Colour. Rust is one of the 3 points of red in the House of Colour system for autumns, along with coral and a warm red. For springs, they also get coral and warm red, but they also get a warm pink. So Rust is for autumns, not for springs, so I'm going to say no to that one. And then we have lipsticks. So keeping with House of Colour, this first one is called Soft Amber. I don't have much of it left, as you can see. This is a warm orangey brown colour. Now I'm going to put in pictures of me wearing all of these lipsticks as well. This one is great for autumns, a great neutral for autumns, but I don't think that it is that appropriate for springs. So I'm going to put this one in the no pile, but because I don't have much of this left, I do just want to use this one up as a blusher, and I think that will be fine. And then I have Autumn Shimmer, which is a warm pink. It is fairly bright and it does have a nice bit of like gold shimmer in there. So actually I'm going to say yes for this, for springs. And then I have the Rust, which is one of the 3 points of red for autumn and not for springs, but it is a warm based red, but ideally it should be a bit brighter. So I'm going to say no for that. Then I have 3 by Merit. Couple more reds. This one is Aperitif, which is a more neutral red, not too warm toned, not too cool toned. I did wear it in a recent video and somebody said that it's not their favourite lip product that they've seen me in. So this possibly isn't the best shade for springs, but where it is a neutral universal shade, it is argued that it is appropriate for spring, so I will put that in the yes. Then I have Carbo, which is an orange based warm red, which I prefer to Aperitif because it has that warmth in it. So that one for me is going to be a yes to it being suitable for springs. But this one is going to be a no. This is Tiger. This is a brown. This one I wore in my Full Face of Merit video, and when I took a picture of that makeup afterwards, I thought, wow, it all looks muddy and quite heavy and my face looks dull. So I think that that one is a no for springs. Browns are not really recommended for springs, and when I posted on, I think either Reddit or Facebook about being a spring, somebody gave me some advice and said for lipsticks, be careful of browns. Browns are for autumns, not for springs, and that's really kind of stayed with me because I have worn browns since being an autumn, but now I'm a spring. Browns are a no-no. Then I have these 3. 2 by Lisa Eldridge. This one I'm going to say yes, this one is for springs because this is a bright warm pink. It's a coral, je ne sais quoi, lovely shade. Really enjoy that. That one is yes for springs. And then I have Kitten Mischief, which is a like buttery pink caramel shade, a great natural everyday shade, nice and warm. I'm going to say yes for springs. It arguably could be more coral, could be more pink, could be more peach, but I think it is a good natural everyday shade. And then last one is Smoked Almond by MAC, which is kind of like toasted warm pink shade, possibly better for autumns. So I'm going to say no to this one. I think this one is arguably better for autumns, but I think this one could also work as a great blush as well. So these are the makeup products that I have decided are not suitable for springs. They're better off for autumns. So the two lipsticks, which are Soft Amber, that warm orange brown, and then the Rust, the brownie red rather. The Merit lipstick in Tiger, which is the brown. MAC Smoked Almond, that kind of earthy pink. My two eyeshadows from MAC, Patina and Woodwinked, both of which I am actually going to declutter. The Rust lip liner. And then these two eyeliners from Victoria Beckham, Copper and Bronze. And I think I'm actually going to declutter the bronze. Is it bronze? Yes, bronze shade, because I only really wear that with Patina, and now that I'm getting rid of Patina, I don't think I want to keep hold of this one, but I will keep hold of the red one, the Copper. So just these three products for now I'm going to declutter. I will make up my mind about these lipsticks and the lip liner in the next few weeks, whether I can wear them all as like blushes perhaps, I'm not sure. It might just be the Rust and the Merit lipstick I declutter. And then the Merit mascara isn't in my season, but I am only going to be keeping hold of this for another month possibly, and then I would have had it open for 6 months and then I get rid. So not too much at all in my makeup collection that isn't in my season. But then I have all of this that is in my season. So all of my base products, all of my cheek products, some of my eye products, and most possibly of my lip products as well. So I've got a pretty good collection here of products that do suit my spring season, so pretty happy with that. There's not really many gaps at all. If I wanted to, I might get myself like a peach sort of lipstick, because I have a coral, I have a light pink, I've got a couple of red options, but maybe like a peach shade could be good to add in, maybe like a warm light orange as well perhaps. We'll see, and I'll see what I want to do as well about those few lipsticks that aren't in my spring season. So hope you liked that. I hope that was interesting. I'm going to do the same with my wardrobe as well. I've got a few videos about my wardrobe coming out where I wear everything. I'm going to decide whether it's something I want to keep or not from a declutter point of view, but I'm also going to see as well just how much I have that is in a spring palette. I know most of my wardrobe, like most of my makeup, is suitable for autumn, so it's going to be interesting to see how many of my clothes are actually in the spring palette. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked it. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you again very soon for my next one. Bye!